Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels, where I'm going to show you how to make delicious, simple meals on a budget that anyone can make, no matter how experienced you are or inexperienced as a cook, or no matter how simple or basic your cooking utensils or equipment. I'm doing it on a simple butane stove. So what do you say? Why don't you come on and join me and let's get started. Today I'm going to show you how to take simple stovetop stuffing and in 5 minutes kick it up to something that tastes like gourmet stuffing. That's right, in just a few minutes, 5 minutes or a couple minutes over, you'll be able to do that. What you're going to need today, you're going to need some oil because you're going to be sauteing some cut up celery, onions. You don't have to use onions, you can leave them out if you want. Carrots, garlic, minced garlic, and I'm going to do some parsley. You can use fresh parsley, I prefer it, but I had this, so you know I'm a down-home cook, I use whatever I have. So parsley flakes, and of course garlic powder. You know how I love garlic powder, those of you who've been with me for a while. And sage. I like sage in my dressing. So I'm also using stovetop stuffing. I like the cornbread, but you could also use, they have a savory, they have a chicken flavored turkey. All of them are really good. What you can do with this cornbread, if you want to extend it some, you can make your own Jiffy cornbread and add it to there, but you'll need a little more fluid. So what I do is after I've made the dressing, if I want to add my Jiffy in, I will pour just a few tablespoons of milk and mix it in really good. Now, I'm using regular chicken stock today, or chicken bouillon, chicken broth, instead of water. It just gives it a better flavor. I'm using regular, but usually I will use reduced sodium. And I'm not going to be adding any salt to this since the chicken broth already has salt and there's already seasoning in the stovetop. So what we're going to start off with, I'm going to take and add some oil to my pot. This is grapeseed oil, whatever your oil of choice is. Just a little bit, about maybe a quarter, not even a quarter of a cup, just enough to get the bottom good and covered. And then I'm going to be adding my different chopped up vegetables. Now I add about 1 carrot because it just makes it a little bit sweeter, and it's about, the onion is about, I'd say about maybe a quarter of a cup of onion, and then I've got maybe 1 stalk of celery chopped up really pretty finely, and then maybe about a half a bell pepper, and then a good round tablespoon of minced garlic. So I'm going to put this in here. I forgot my, I'm going to put this butter in here for now. I'm going to put this in here. Okay, I'm going to add this to my heated oil and saute these vegetables. Did I say I have about 1 small to medium-sized grated carrot? And I think I also forgot to mention that I do add about a tablespoon of sugar to this dressing. You can add more or less depending on your preference. I just like it, it adds just a little bit of flavor. It brings all the flavors together, but I don't want to add enough to make it really sweet. I don't like the dressing really sweet. Okay, we're going to let these saute for about maybe 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to add our chicken broth to this. Okay, let's get this on the road. I think I said I'd go ahead and pour the broth in here. I should have said pour the broth in here after taking the vegetables out. So you're going to take the vegetables out, put them on the side, or you could actually be cooking your vegetables while you're doing your stuffing at the same time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour about 1.25 cups or so of broth, chicken broth, and then I'm going to put about 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter in here, and I'm going to bring that to a boil. I'm basically following the directions on the package that says to bring this to a boil. And then after I get this boiling, I'm going to add my stuffing, the stovetop stuffing, to it. Now what I like to do when I am cooking a turkey and stuffing it, I like to do what my mom used to do. I take out the giblets, the neck, all the parts that are in the little packet inside the cavity, and I chop that meat up really well, and then I boil that, bring it to a boil, and then I cook it and simmer it in broth with onions and similar things that I have here, and then I will use that juice for my stuffing. And then what I will do is just add all of my vegetables and some more vegetables to that. But you can do it however you choose, but that's just one way that I do it when I'm doing a turkey. So this is coming to a boil here, and what you're going to do is once this comes to a boil, you're going to mix in your stuffing, and you're going to stir it up really good, and then you're going to mix in all of your sauteed vegetables, and then you're going to turn the heat off and then let it soak up. Get it good and stirred up and mixed up, and then just let it soak in. Add your seasonings, and you're done. How simple is that? How simple. Okay, this will be boiling in a minute or so, and we'll come back and add the stovetop stuffing to it. Okay, it looks like our little, I call it kind of a slurry, is boiling here. So I'm going to turn the gas off on this, and then I'm going to add my stuffing. I'm going to get it stirred up really well, and then I'm going to add my vegetables to this mixture. And already, the sugar would already be added. A tablespoon or 2 depending on your preference. I saute the vegetables because I don't like the crunchiness of the pepper, the bell pepper, and the onion in the dressing, or the stuffing, whichever you call it, wherever you're from. Okay, then I'm just going to let that sit like this and let it absorb the water, or I'm sorry, the broth, for a few minutes, and then it'll be ready to serve. Now when you get ready to serve it, if it's just a little bit, still a little bit crunchier than you want it as far as the dressing from the stovetop, you can pour just a tad bit of liquid or water over there. Don't put too much, because I've done that in the past and made it soupy. You don't want to do that. So we're going to come back, let it sit for a minute or so, and come back, and you know the favorite part, sampling and tasting. Be right back. I just realized I forgot to add the garlic powder and the parsley. What am I thinking? So no big deal. We can just add it now and mix it up. A good amount of garlic powder here, and then I'm going to add my parsley flakes. And again, you can add fresh parsley if you like, which I actually prefer, but this is what I had on hand. I made a good amount of parsley flakes here. Then I'm going to stir that up, and we're going to see what we have here. Yeah, it's a nice texture. I like the texture of this. It's not too mushy, and it's not real hard. I know of late, they say, oh, don't stuff your bird, your turkey, or even your chicken. I use this to stuff my chickens, but I still do. I don't know. I'm not telling you to. If it's not safe, don't do it, but I do. I like a stuffed bird. All right. let's go ahead and sample this up and see how it tastes. Let's take a little sample here. Perfection. You know, you can add a protein, even eggs or meat to this, and you can actually make a meal out of this. So you don't have to just have it as stuffing, but it is just scrumptious. Delicious. And how simple was that? Just upgrading the stovetop. That's all you did. Well, here we are. Another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels without me on wheels. But I have some good news for you. I'm hoping that by the time you're watching this, that I will have done a tour of my van for you. My van is supposed to be done a week from today. So I have some extra videos that I've made in preparation. So I'm going to be playing them, but by the time you see this, I hope you'll also have been able to see a tour of the g.l.o.w. So thank you so much for joining us, or joining me. And I hope that you're all safe and not just surviving, but thriving, maybe taking this time as an opportunity to sit down and strategize on future goals, or spend more time with your family, and just stay safe. And thank you so much. Don't forget, subscribe, tell your friends, and by all means comment and tell me what you think, and tell me what you'd like me to try, some recipes, and I'll certainly give it the old try. Thank you, friends, and may your journeys be filled with joy and blessings. Till next week, same date, Thursdays. Bye.